Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina Worcester, and in this video, I will be rounding up all of the books that I have read in November of 2025. First up, we have Slay by Brittany Morris. We are different ages, genders, and traditions, but tonight we all slay. Black Panther meets Ready Player One. A fierce teen game developer battles a real-life troll intent on ruining the Black Panther-inspired video game she created and the safe community it represents for Black gamers. By day, 17-year-old Kira Johnson is it says college, but she's definitely in high school, student, and one of the only Black kids at Jefferson Academy. By night, she joins hundreds of thousands of Black gamers who duel worldwide in the secret online role-playing card game, Slay. No one knows Kira is the game developer, not even her boyfriend, Malcolm. But when a teen in Kansas City is murdered over a dispute in the Slay world, the media labels it an exclusionist, racist hub for thugs. With threats coming from both inside and outside the game, Kira must fight to save the safe space she's created. But can she protect Slay without losing herself? I liked this book. I read it in one day. I didn't read it for a video or anything. I kind of just read it because I was going on a day trip that day and I needed something to read in the car. When I read it initially, I thought for sure it was gonna be my best book of the month. But I did read a couple of other books this month that have kind of overshadowed it since then. But I did really enjoy this one. It didn't have too much of the excessive video game terminology that I tend to dislike in video game books. Next up, we have The Obsession by Jessie Q. Sutanto. This is the book that my friend Isabel recommended to me for our book swap. A classic sort of love story, except somebody might wind up dead. Nobody knows Delilah like Logan does. Nobody. He makes sure of it by learning everything he can through her social media and watching her through a hidden camera he has trained on her house. Some might call him a stalker. Logan prefers to be called romantic. But after Logan sees Delilah killing her abusive stepfather, he realizes there's still more about her to discover. His sweet, perfect Delilah isn't so perfect after all. Delilah knows she should feel guilty, but all she feels is free. She's so over the men in her life controlling her. Except Logan saw what she did, and he won't let her forget it. Delilah is done being the victim, and she refuses to be a character in Logan's twisted fantasy. If Logan won't let her go, she'll make him. This was a fantastic book. I loved it. Both of the narrators were somewhat unreliable, but I thought that was done well. I don't usually like unreliable narrators, but I liked it in this case. The plot kept me on my toes. It was fast-paced and exciting, and I really liked this book. Next up, we have 7 Minutes in Candyland by Brian Wasson. Sophomore Calvin Schmelton has finally perfected his underground candy-selling hustle at school. He keeps his prices reasonable, his inventory fresh, and himself out of the drama. But when a heartbroken Sterling Glycern, Cal's longtime crush, barges into the storage closet where he keeps his candy supply, a new source of income unexpectedly presents itself. Relationship therapist. Sure, he only meant to help Sterling realize she's been dating a jerk and maybe win her over. But news spreads fast that Calvin's not just the master of sweets, but hearts too. And as the son of 2 famous therapists, he leans into this newfound reputation and the money that comes with it. The truth, however, is that Calvin's parents' perfect marriage is crumbling. He was supposed to woo the girl of his dreams, fix his parents' relationship, and lend a listening ear to a school full of heartbroken teens. But a jealous boyfriend, a vengeful competitor, and Cal's own growing ego threaten those plans, forcing Cal to rethink all he thought he knew about friendship, family, and love. I liked this book. It was a cute and fun book. I read it for my reading the least popular book on my TBR video. I definitely think this book is underrated, and hopefully by talking about it on my channel, I can spread some awareness to viewers like you, and maybe you'll pick up the book too. I do have to say, though, the moral of the story did feel a little bit obvious. It's basically, don't let a high schooler be your therapist, which is like, yeah. Next up, we have Falling Like Leaves by Misty Wilson. This is the first book in my Goodreads YA fiction Goodreads Choice Awards YA fiction long list challenge, where I read all the books I can get from my local library that are nominated for the Goodreads Choice Awards in the young adult fiction category. This is the first book in the Bramble Falls series. Gilmore Girls meets Jenny Han in this autumnal teen rom-com about a city girl stuck in a quaint small town who must confront her future and her old flame while the town prepares for an annual fall festival. Ellis has a lot of expectations for her senior year, but moving from Manhattan to Bramble Falls, Connecticut is not one of them. Yet in the wake of her parents' separation, that's exactly where she and her mother are headed. Bramble Falls might be charming, but it's also full of distractions. Like local barista Cooper Barnett, Ellis's one-time best friend, and first kiss, who has not only majorly glowed up but wants nothing to do with Ellis. Then there's the Falling Leaves Festival, a month-long tourist attraction run by Ellis's aunt, celebrating everything autumn. The festival seems nice and all, but Ellis doesn't have time to be roped into her aunt's enthusiastic planning. Dragged to each event, she can't stop bumping into Cooper, the one person she's hoping to avoid. But the longer she stays in Bramble Falls, the harder it is to pretend she's not falling for this town and the people in it. As her return to Manhattan gets pushed further and further out, Ellis is forced to confront exactly what she wants for her future and what that means for her present. Unfortunately, I was not a big fan of this book. I felt it was somewhat lacking in the plot department, and it also had too many Taylor Swift references, even for me. However, I would be open to reading the next book in the series because, as far as I'm aware, it seems like it's going to be interconnected standalones. So I'm open to reading more from the Bramble Falls universe, but this book just didn't do it for me. Next up, we have the book that I have most recently finished at the time of me recording this, Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. This is the book that I picked for my friends in my book club. In this romantic page-turner from the author of Everything, Everything, and The Sun is Also a Star, Evie has the power to see other people's romantic fates. What will happen when she finally sees her own? Evie Thomas doesn't believe in love anymore, especially after the strangest thing occurs one otherwise ordinary afternoon. She witnesses a couple kiss and is overcome with a vision of how their romance began and how it will end. After all, even the greatest love stories end with a broken heart eventually. As Evie tries to understand why this is happening, she finds herself at La Brea Dance Studio, learning to waltz, foxtrot, and tango with a boy named X. X is everything that Evie is not: adventurous, passionate, daring. His philosophy is to say yes to everything, including entering a ballroom dance competition with a girl he's only just met. Falling for X is definitely not what Evie had in mind. If her visions of heartbreak have taught her anything, it's that no one escapes love unscathed. But as she and X dance around and toward each other, Evie is forced to question all she thought she knew about life and love. In the end, is love worth the risk? This book, oh man, I wasn't even supposed to finish it until Thanksgiving, but at the 84% mark, there was a plot twist that genuinely left me so gagged that I could not help but to finish this book. And that never happens for me. This is absolutely my best read of the month. I am so glad I picked it for my friends in my book club, even though I only knew the synopsis of the book going in. This book had a lot of fun elements, like Evie's friendships, her relationship with her sister, her learning to dance, but it has a surprisingly strong emotional core to it as well. It's hard to say because I did really enjoy The Obsession as well, but I think this might be my favorite book of the month. I am going to turn this video over to future Christina, who is on vacation right now. What my normal reading rate for vacations is about 1 book a day, so that should leave us with a total of 8 books read in the month of November, which might be a new record for me for as long as I've been keeping track on this channel, at least. Hi everyone, sorry if this setup is a little bit janky. I am actively on vacation as we speak. The first book I read on vacation is Chef's Kiss by T.J. Alexander. Simone Larkspur is a perfectionist pastry expert with a dream job at The Discerning Chef, a venerable cookbook publisher in New York City. All she wants to do is create the perfect loaf of sourdough and develop recipes, but when The Discerning Chef decides to bring their brand into the 21st century by pivoting to video, Simone is thrust into the spotlight and finds herself failing at something for the first time in her life. To make matters worse, Simone has to deal with Ray Lighton, the new test kitchen manager, whose obnoxious cheer and outgoing personality are like oil to Simone's water. When Ray accidentally becomes a viral YouTube sensation with a series of homebrewing videos, their eccentric editor-in-chief forces Simone to work alongside the chipper upstart or else risk her beloved job. But the more they work together, the more Simone realizes her heart may be softening like butter for Ray. Things get even more complicated when Ray comes out as work as non-binary to mixed reactions, and Simone must choose between the career she fought so hard for and the person who just might take the cake and her heart. This book was about 99% cute, fluffy romance, and then like 1% like the most horrifically cringeworthy sex scene I have ever encountered. A word was used that I am not going to say. It did kind of taint the reading experience for me, but if you can look past that, or dare I say, if you are a spice enjoyer, you will probably enjoy this cute and fluffy romance. Next up, we have The Surprising Power of a Good Dumpling by Y. Chim. Anna Chu has her hands full. When she's not looking after her younger brother and sister or helping out at her father's restaurant, she's taking care of her mother, whose debilitating mental illness keeps her in bed most days. Her father's new delivery boy, Rory, is a welcome distraction, and even though she knows that things aren't right at home, she's starting to feel like she could be a normal teen. But when her mother finally gets out of bed, things go from bad to worse. And as her mother's condition continues to decline, Anna and her family question everything they understand about themselves and one another. The Surprising Power of a Good Dumpling is a heart-wrenching, true-to-life exploration through the complex and often neglected crevices of culture, mental illness, and family. I enjoyed this book. I thought it had very good mental health representation, and I didn't mention this about Chef's Kiss, but it also had a lot of good food descriptions, and I love those. The Surprising Power of a Good Dumpling also had some of those, which I always appreciate. Yeah, it's a little heavy, but it's a good book. Last up, we have Georgia Peaches and Other Forbidden Fruit by J. Robin Brown. It's going to take a miracle for Joanna Gordon to get through senior year. Despite being the daughter of a well-known radio evangelist, Jo has never hidden the fact that she's gay, and her dad has always supported her. But that was back in Atlanta. Now her dad, the Reverend, has married wife number 3, and they've all moved to small-town Rome, Georgia. When Jo's dad asks her to lie low for the rest of the year in hopes that it will help him and his new wife settle in, Jo reluctantly agrees. Although when God closes a closet door, he opens a window. Everything becomes so easy for Jo once she rebrands herself as a straight girl. No one gives her odd looks, her new stepfamily likes her, she even gets in with the popular crowd. And that's how she meets Mary Carlson, the ultimate temptation. Even though Jo knows this girl is completely off limits, she just can't get her out of her mind. But Jo couldn't possibly think of breaking her promise to her dad. Even if Jo's starting to fall for Mary Carlson, Even if there's a chance Mary Carlson might be interested in her too, right? Lord have mercy. Joe's in for one hell of a year. I also liked this book. It was a cute romance. It did have the trope of a romance where one person wants to stay closeted and the other doesn't, which I know is not everybody's cup of tea, but it was fine for me. And I was extremely concerned for Dana the entire time, so there's that. But yeah, that is the last book I read in the month of November. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You're the best!